video today then is about dealing with buses. This is a video chiefly for learners. Sometimes I find that experienced drivers could do better, but this is a video chiefly for learners. I've found over the years that my learners sometimes are a little bit uncertain what to do if they find themselves following a bus. So I've picked a time of day when hopefully there'll be plenty of buses around. I've just seen two go past in front of me. Plenty of buses around. The schools are coming out now, and shortly probably folks will be coming out of work as well. So hopefully we should have plenty of buses to deal with, and I'll go through what I think is the best procedure for dealing with buses in all sorts of circumstances. I'm going to go right at the traffic lights ahead. I can see a bus moving away over on the right hand side. It's probably out of camera at the moment, but there's a bus just moved away in the road I'm going into. Checked across to the right there. I can see the bus now at the top of the hill. I'm going to keep commentary to a minimum. I may occasionally slip into it, but I'm going to try and keep that to a minimum. I can still see the bus at the top of the hill. One of the first things I think to be aware of when you're dealing with buses, obviously you have to make the decision: do I wait behind the bus? Do I overtake the bus? And the critical thing is to keep well back from the bus in order that your vision is good. The closer you get to the bus, the more it's going to fill up your vision, and the less you're going to be able to see of the road ahead, and also of the what's going on the near side. I can still see the bus moving away from me down at the traffic lights, and I can see another one in front of that. Lights are green at the moment. I don't know whether I'm going to get the opportunity to follow those two buses or whether I'm going to get stopped by the lights. It's looking promising. So we're through the lights, just watching the traffic both sides. Now the question now is the bus going to pull out? He's not signalling right at the moment, so I'm going to signal in good time for him and keep well away from him. So to repeat, if you're following a bus, if there's no cars, let's say, between you and the bus, it's very important to keep well back, because in a sense the bus gets smaller the further back you are, and the better your vision is down both sides of the bus. When the police are training their guys to drive advanced driving, they often speak about what's called information links, and there are some useful information links that can be applied to buses. One of the most obvious ones is if the road you're on has bus stops, then there's a likelihood you're going to meet with a bus sooner or later. Now the bus ahead of me has pulled over, is still indicating left, so I'm going to make a signal and take the opportunity. So by keeping way back from the bus, we can see down the left hand side, and the information link would be the bus stop ahead of the bus. Is anyone waiting? If there's anyone waiting, there's a likelihood that the bus is going to stop. Now across the roundabout here, I'm going straight on, there is a bus shelter, but I can see no one there, so it's unlikely that the bus behind me will pull up here, unless of course he's letting somebody off. And sometimes you can determine that as well. We'll perhaps get onto that in a moment or two. So the bus now is following me. I'm going to take a short diversion in the hope that I can get behind him again. Hoping that if I go around the roundabout, the bus will go straight ahead and I can come around and get behind him once more. So I'm doing full circle of the roundabout. My plan is to get behind the bus again. Didn't work so well. I'm going to go round once more. I'm watching carefully what's going on, so I'm not causing any hold-ups. Coach is waiting here. The bus has now come out onto the roundabout, and if I do another circuit, I shan't worry too much about this bus, but if I do another circuit I should be behind the bus has just come through. Checking the mirrors to leave the roundabout, indicating left. Now is the bus pulling up? There's a bus stop ahead. Yes, he is. So out early onto the right. Be aware of traffic coming up the road in front of the bus. It's a good idea, if the bus stop is ahead of a junction, not to go past unless you can see well that the junction is clear. I've got lots of room there. I could see it was clear both sides. So information links then. We're following the bus. We want to keep well back, so we got good vision ahead and behind. And by keeping well back, we can see the bus shelters before the bus gets there. We have an idea whether the bus is likely to stop or not. Now I'm looking in my mirror at the bus behind me. There's no one waiting to get off, and there's no one waiting to get on. So I know the bus is going to follow me here. Oh, he has pulled up. Well, somebody must have stood up, or he's ahead of schedule. Yeah, there's a child got off the bus with whom I couldn't see. Again, what I'll do on the other side of the lights, I'll take a little detour in the hopes of getting behind the bus once more. The other very important advantage about keeping back from the bus is that not only can you see the bus shelters before the bus arrives, which is going to give you a clue whether the bus is going to stop, but you can also see better down the right hand side of the bus. Is there any oncoming traffic that we need to be concerned about if we're planning to overtake? So I'm going to take this little slip road here because I want to get behind the bus again if I can. The bus is now passing me down on the right hand side on the main road. In fact, there's two of them. We're in a feast of buses just now, which is good. So certainly I'm going to get behind the one that he's just coming alongside. You can't see him in the camera, I don't think, but he's just gone ahead of me on the main road. So hopefully I'll get behind him again in a moment. I'm going to go left then. And I'm going to wait a moment to let this other bus come by, so I've got two to deal with. So two buses ahead of me now, just checking my mirror. The first one has still got his left signal on. Now he's got his right signal on, so we know he's moving away. It's not a good idea when that right signal comes on to try and go past. If the bus is signalling left, then as long as there's people getting on and off, there's a chance you can get past. But once the right signal comes on, don't attempt to go by. So I can still see both buses quite well. There's not a great deal of traffic really just now. It's not really rush hour yet, although the kids will be coming out of school, of course, as we can see over on the right. The traffic light said now one of the buses is going right, the other one is pulling up, so out towards the centre to get a view past the bus, but watching carefully for his right signal. If it comes on, we stay behind. It's not coming on. I'm going to follow the other bus. In fact, now the bus that was pulled up has also come out behind me, so bonus time. Lots of buses. I find even when I say to my pupils, keep well back from the bus, they tend to creep up too close. It's very important to stay well back so that you're not closing down your vision. If you close down your vision, you're closing down your opportunity to overtake you, making it more difficult for yourself. Normally if I have two vehicles turning right at lights, I'll wait behind the line, because if the bus takes a while to get away once the lights have changed, I could be stranded over the line. It's looking promising. Time to finish the turn here. Now I can see the bus has got his left signal on, so I'm going to position out towards the centre, but there isn't room. But I've got a good view down the right hand side of the bus, but clearly there isn't space to go by, and I've got another bus right up behind me now. So the bus ahead is moving away. Looks as though he's got somebody in front of him and he can't get out either. I've now given way for him. Now although the bus was held up, there should be room for the cars, and there is. But going carefully. In fact, I think I will wait here. Just tiptoeing through very carefully. Okay, just keeping an eye then on the bus ahead. Now a left signal has come on. I can see there's a couple of people at the bus stop. So now I'm asking myself, can I go by the bus? He could easily move off before I get there. I'm going to position myself towards the bollards. I've got a good view down the road. I'm not signalling because of the road on the right, and we're away. I'm going to pull up, give both buses a chance to come by. I've got my left signal on for the bus. They're both coming past me now. I'm going to have the car ready because I want to get away as soon as possible behind these two buses. Looks as though they're both going straight on. They're not taking the junction on the left. Yes, they are. The first one is. So I'm going to follow that one. I'm going to follow them both in fact. So here's the signal, taking the left. Being aware that there might be a bus stop just around the corner. So at the moment I'm about 10 car lengths away from the bus. I'm doing 20 miles an hour. I can see well down the left hand side of the bus. I can see the oncoming traffic. So by staying well back, I've got good vision here. Mirror, no one close behind. Got a bus shelter on the left, no one waiting. First bus has gone by. Can't see anybody standing up on the second bus looking through the back window, so he's not stopped either. That's another information link. Is anybody standing up? You'd expect the bus to stop. Just close the gap a little bit now. To 25. Mirror. So I don't want to get any closer now to this second bus, the one nearest to me. Looking down, I can see bus shelter down there, and I can see pedestrians waiting. Now the first bus might stop, but the second one might not, so I'm going to stay way back, see whether there's any indication of the second bus. Looks as though the first one's pulling up, but there isn't room to go by. I can see down the right hand side of the bus. Looks as though this second bus is going to go for it. But I can't see what the front one is going to do, so I'm not going to follow this bus yet. I want to be able to see for myself. The left signal is still on, so we can make a right signal. I can see the road is clear, and round we go. Again, staying well back here. I've got 6, 7 car lengths, 8 car lengths from the bus. Looking through the back window, no one standing up at the moment that I can see. Looking down the left hand side of the bus for bus shelters. It seems like it might be a lot to remember, but once you get in the habit, you don't think about it so much. Can't see anybody getting on. Presumably there's somebody getting off. I'm looking down the right hand side of the bus. I've got oncoming vehicles. I want to keep myself in a position where I can see the bus. Right signal's on, so we're not going to go past anyway. It's not good to go past when the right signal's on. If the bus driver doesn't check his mirror and you're going by, you could find yourself in trouble. So if the right signal comes on, if you're not already committed round the bus, don't begin. So I'm looking down the side of the bus for bus stops. Can't see any at the moment. Now normally we'd have tyres and tarmac. With the bus I'm going to leave a little bit more room for a pretty big car between us. The other bus is closed up behind me as well. Can't see the lights at the moment. Oncoming traffic has stopped, so the likelihood is that the lights are going to change soon. Traffic going from the right to the left tells me that our lights are still on red. Checking all my mirrors, just letting the bus creep away from me. Let the gap open, he's not turning at the moment, mirror. Safe to go. Looking down the right hand side of the bus, I'm looking for bus shelters. I can see one on the left mirror. Got no signal off the bus as yet. Yes, he is pulling up. Now I've got hazard markings down the centre which I can take advantage of, so I'm going to signal for the bus driver, and out we go. Unless there's a junction on the right, it's good practice to signal for the bus driver so that he knows you're planning to come by. You might just, he could just pull out otherwise. I've no idea which way the buses behind me will go. So I'm going to take the second left here, because I know it's a busy area. And we might meet some more buses. So to recap then, we stay well back so that we've got vision right and left. If we've got good vision, we can see whether there's a bus stop coming, and we can assess whether there's a likelihood that the bus will stop. That will then be confirmed, if he is going to stop, of course, by his left signal, and then we position ourselves a little nearer to the centre of the road so we can see down the right of the bus and ask, is it safe to go by? However, if the right signal comes on and we're not committed past the bus, don't go. It's safer to let the bus move away. So I'm on a stretch of road now where I can see a bus ahead, and bus stops both sides, so obviously a bus route. Bus is taking the left ahead, so I'm going to follow him. Either that or he's pulling up for the bus stop. No, he's pulling up for the bus stop. Just one or two people getting on, and there's every chance he could still be there when I get level with him, so out to position to have a look. It is safe. I'm going to signal for the driver and safely by, and then once I've passed the bollards ahead, I'm going to pull up until the bus comes by me. I'm indicating for the car behind that I'm pulling in, finding a spot where the bus has got plenty of room, plenty of vision to get past without him needing to worry about the junction on the right. So I've left him lots of space to come by. As soon as he's come past, I'm going to follow him. So letting myself keep well away, 6 or 7 car lengths minimum. Looking down the road ahead of the bus, looking for bus stops. That's my first clue always. Now the windows are darkened on the back of this bus, so it might be difficult to see through if anyone stands up. I'm looking for the left signal as well. And there is a bus stop on the left, and the left signal is on, mirror. Keeping myself well to the left. Now the bollard just ahead of the bus is a problem for me, so I can't tell whether there's room. But I'm going to get myself out where I can see a little better. Bus now moving away, right signal's on. Checking my mirrors before I move away. Just letting the gap open. Just moving to the left a little bit to look down the left hand side. I can see a bus stop up there, down the left side of the bus. No one waiting at that bus stop. Doesn't appear to be slowing down at all. Yes, he is, his signal's on. but I've got a car coming towards me, I can see that, plus a junction on the right, so not a good place to pass. So just keeping a good space here. You can actually see through the window the person getting off the bus. I'm not quite sure why that is, some reflection up, I think perhaps on the bus windscreen. Bus driver's going to take the right at the end of the road. Now he's just signalled to move off. I don't know which way he's going yet. I'm staying well back. I want to follow him for a while. He's not. He's going left, so mirror, and I should do the same. It's clear on my right. See a bus shelter just past the crossing, mirror. Looking down the right hand side of the bus, it's fairly busy, there's a junction there as well. Not a good place to overtake. The junction is very close, I've got a van waiting over on the right, but I will position for vision. And I've got to go a bit closer because of the crossing. I can also see a zebra a little further down. The bus is moving away, checking all my mirrors. Being mindful of the zebra crossing ahead of the bus. Can't see the left at the moment, mirror, so as the bus gets away it's easier to see. Crossing is clear. Just keeping my space. If he slows down I'll do the same. There's a junction ahead of the bus. Traffic could be coming out of there, so it is coming out of there, so they might be coming my way. I'm not going to go past the bus. They would pull out from the left, they can't see me at all if I start to overtake the bus, so not a good idea to go past so close to a junction where it's completely blind. Checking the mirrors then. And I'm going to leave the bus now, take a left here. That's the way we deal with buses. There's nothing to be afraid of at all. My learners get nervous, they get shaky, not quite sure what to do. There's nothing to be afraid of if you stay back and you know what you're looking for. So one final recap, keep back, even if you're only doing 20, keep 6 car lengths back at least, so that you've got vision down both sides of the bus. Be looking for bus stops, and you can predict whether the bus, at least to some extent you can predict whether the bus is going to pull up. Also, of course, the number of pedestrians waiting will tell you whether the bus is likely to be a moment or two or quite a while, and that also gives you a clue as to whether it's safe to go by. You also want to be looking for junctions ahead of the bus. If they're close to the bus, in front of the bus, stay behind the bus. Don't overtake the bus if his right signal comes on. And also be aware sometimes, if you are overtaking the bus, to keep your speed down, because pedestrians sometimes get off the bus and then walk across the front of it and you can't see them. So if you're overtaking the bus, go by with great caution in case the pedestrians walk around the front. And we'll leave it there for today. I hope that was helpful, dealing with buses for learners.